With the Contracts DLC coming out tomorrow, I figured it'd be a fun idea to set some realistic expectations based on what we know thus far. But before I do that, I have to plug my YouTube and Twitch channel. Please subscribe and follow and turn on notifications. Tomorrow at 9 AM UK time, I'll start streaming alongside it with my good friend Josh, so you can just choose whether or not you want to be on YouTube or on Twitch. But please, tune in. Thank you very much. Also make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for videos starting to drop tomorrow. I have a lot of cool ideas that I'm sure you will enjoy. While details are pretty vague, we can get a pretty good idea of how this DLC will play out. I'm personally expecting a very story-driven DLC based on the fact that Franklin, Lamar, and also Dr. Dre are making a return. And Dr. Dre's lost phone definitely has some good potential for being an interesting story. Though based on the Kai Perico heist, it could also mean that we'll just get a 20-minute introduction story, and that's pretty much it. And then the rest will just simply go through the radio as you're doing the missions. Which wouldn't be inherently bad in my opinion, but you know, cutscenes are nicer to look at, and it will definitely make you settle down and pay attention to what's going on in the story. Regardless of that, I do hope that it will play out a lot more like the original heist, for example. You do a mission or two, you get a cutscene, and then kind of getting updated to what the situation has currently been developed into. It will give a more story-driven feel to it, and it would honestly be a shame to have Dr. Dre added to the game and then only seeing him for one cutscene again for a few seconds. And obviously the same goes for Franklin and Lamar. I can't wait to see those two go for each other's throat once again. Nigga. One thing I can't help but be both excited and blown away by is that Rockstar managed to secure exclusive unreleased music from Dr. Dre. I'm not a big hip-hop head, but even I can recognize how big of a deal this is. Last time Dr. Dre released any new music was in 2015. Obviously not including all the stuff that he produces. And on top of that West Coast Classics is getting an update with some very spicy looking tunes. This is definitely going to be something that is very much centered around old school hip hop. Obviously, newer school hip hop will be a thing as well, but Radio Los Santos is something that I kind of avoid like a plague, especially when they add Stir Fry by Migos. No thank you. The update really seems to be focused on music again, and the emphasis is definitely on there, but I'm really hoping that because of that, they're not really letting down the gameplay aspect of it. And it's not going to be another scenario of Nightclub, for example, where, look, there's a bunch of DJs and there's a lot of cool music, but that's pretty much what the DLC is. And the same thing kind of goes for Casino. Obviously, the main thing that I'm looking to get my hands on, and I'm dying to do so, is the EMP Launcher. I'm very curious to see if this will be the counter that we've been wanting against military vehicles. Will it have the sufficient range and blast radius, or will it fall on deaf ears and will be added to the pile of things that could have been and should have been great, but ended up being disappointing? I really hope that it will turn out good. And you bet I'll be testing this on day one and releasing a video on it, so subscribe! In terms of gameplay, I'm personally expecting that the agency will be featuring the main missions, and the armory will probably feature the contract. I'd be surprised if there aren't actually any structured missions throughout this thing, as they claiming it to be a story DLC, which makes me imply that it'd be a huge waste to just put everyone into a sound booth and just have them voice act rather than actually act. So the hype around it seems to be pretty huge. Hopefully they will make up for that. Something in me does tell me though that with all the promotion that is going on from Rockstar is that they're really proud of what this DLC has turned into, and they're really believing in this DLC more than any others they've released thus far. I mean, there's a billboard on Times Square for crying out loud, and it's a DLC. Contracts will likely though follow the same route as we had in Tuners. You do 2 prep missions and then the finale. Just some kind of mini heist. All I really hope for with those contracts is that we get some unique scenarios and not the same as we had in Tuners, where sometimes we're just doing a different version of Prison Break or the Doomsday Heist. Though, admittingly, jumping into the prison with my Jester RR was a lot of fun. And it wouldn't personally really be that much of a deal breaker to me if they were to do a different version of an existing heist and or mission. I do very much understand that Rockstar is running out of space in this map, and they've basically done everything under the sun already, and it's getting increasingly difficult to make things seem fresh. So a different take on an existing heist, I don't think that I would mind that, and it wouldn't be a deal breaker to me. But with all that said and all that done, that was it for this one. Thank you so very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and if you really like what you see on the channel, please do consider becoming a member like Chloe, Roberts, Captain Price, and Madman Dakota. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.